is Rebecca, and I'm with American Real Estate Investments. I'm going to be speaking just a little bit today about our Section 8 program. Section 8 is a rental assistance program funded by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, or most commonly known as HUD. It is designed to assist low-income families rent homes in the private market. These types of homes include apartments, duplexes, and single-family homes. Rent is determined by Section 8 using just a couple of different factors. The first and foremost being the rent reasonableness, essentially what the rents are around the area. The second one is affordability, which is how much the tenant can afford for rent. A couple of other factors include the location, the housing type, apartment, duplex, single-family home, how many bedrooms, baths, appliances that are provided, any utilities as paid for by the owner, and the condition of the property. A HAP contract is a housing assistance payments contract between you being the owner and the housing authority. The HAP contract has three main parts. A HAP contract is a 23-page document and it has three main parts. Part A is a contract information. It lists the tenant name, the address they're renting, the rent amount, and which includes how much the tenant may or may not have to pay per month, what is and isn't provided by the owner, and who pays for what. Part B is the body of the contract, and it lists what the owner can and cannot do. Part C is a tenancy addendum, and it lists what the tenant can and cannot do. Now, the length of the HAP contract may be determined upon what area of the country your Section 8 tenant is in. In Kansas City, the HAP contracts only go for 1 year, but say in Indianapolis, they go for 2 years. The housing authority makes their payments on the first of the month. Now, they may mail out a physical check or they may do a direct deposit. It all depends on where your Section 8 tenant is around the country. The Housing Choice Voucher, also known as a Request for Tenancy Approval, or most commonly known as a voucher, is a packet that's given to the tenant to find a suitable home. When the tenant finds a home that they like, they give this packet to the owner, who then fills it out and turns it back in to the housing authority. This packet lists very basic information about the property: the square footage, the year built, how many bedrooms, how many baths, appliances provided, and heating and cooling types. Some of the major benefits to having a Section 8 tenant, first and foremost, is the guaranteed monthly rent payments. The United States government guarantees this rent. Therefore, you never have to worry about chasing a rent check. The second one would be the low vacancy rates. Once these Section 8 tenants find a home, they never want to leave. Here in Kansas City, I personally have 6 or 7 tenants that's been in these homes for over 9 to 10 years. And the last one, and the one I personally like the best, is the pre-criminal background checks. Section 8 runs all of the background information on these tenants before they're even allowed to get a voucher. They cannot be convicted felons or have previous evictions on their record. Eligibility for the Section 8 program is based on 3 factors. The first one being the annual gross income. These tenants can only make a certain amount per year. The second being the prior rental history, just like I spoke about in the previous slide. These tenants cannot have any evictions on their record. And the third being the criminal record. They cannot be convicted felons. A Section 8 tenant's responsibility is essentially the same as a regular market tenant during the terms of the lease, except for a few minor differences. The first one being is that they have to request housing authority approval to add any other family member as an occupant. They also have to allow the housing authority access for inspections. Now, the house has to go through what's called an initial inspection. This ensures that the home is up to Section 8 standards. The housing authority also does annual inspections, and this ensures that the tenant and the owner have maintained the house to Section 8 standards. The third one being the payment of rent and utility bills. Now, some of these Section 8 tenants have a portion to pay, and if they stop paying, or if they stop paying their utility bills and a utility gets shut off, their benefits will be terminated. With the Section 8 tenant, the owner's responsibilities are essentially the same as having a market tenant, except for one major difference. That difference being is that the owner has to be in compliance with the voucher subsidy contract, also known as the HAP contract. Now, some of these differences include keeping the home up to Section 8 standards, not raising the rent until after the first year term, and keeping all the utilities on if this is an owner utility paid property.